time on the ring apron. He's rolled back in the ring. Bockwinkel's trying to get him in and get a pin. Rolls him over. Count of 1, count of 2, and Lawler kicked out. That's where Bockwinkel will be screaming, local home cooking. He didn't count fast enough. Lawler blasted by the right hand of Nick Bockwinkel. King bounced on that top turnbuckle. The referee backing him up because Lawler is technically still on the ropes. And another shot. Lawler getting that second win. Plants a foot, then a right, another one. Series of right hands, and Lawler puts Bockwinkel on the deck. Falls down himself. He still doesn't completely have it all back. But let me tell you, he had enough to stop the champion. With both hands, he slams the back of Bockwinkel's head into that turnbuckle. The King coming back hard on the champion. Whips him across the ring, slams him with a right. He falls back into the turnbuckle. Jerry Calhoun. Lawler hit his head so hard you could hear it rattle right through this Coliseum. He's on the concrete floor. Lawler coming up to the middle of the ring. Bockwinkel drops off with an elbow. Calhoun back in the ring. Count of 1, count of 2, and Lawler throws Bockwinkel out. Bounces the head of the champion right off that table. Again, Nick Bockwinkel slammed into the timer's table. Referee trying to back him up in the corner into the ring. Bockwinkel is glassy-eyed. Pounds him in there. That's the only place he's going to get a pin. Jerry, you need to go to the edge of the ring as Bockwinkel uses the rope. Oh, he's too smart. Lawler using all of his strength to throw that 245 back in the ring, and Bockwinkel too close to it. And Bockwinkel gouging at the eyes of Jerry Lawler. The referee warning him about that, but Lawler is hurt. Head on the top rope. He runs the eyes right down the ring. Bockwinkel hooks a right. Rights and left. Slam Lawler's head. He's picking the tempo up. The champion trying to make this a do or die. And here comes Lawler. Look at him go. Referee trying to pull Lawler out of there. Uh-oh. Lawler throws the referee down. Goes back to Bockwinkel. Again, Calhoun is down, and Lawler's on Bockwinkel. This time, Bockwinkel slams the referee. I don't know whether he was swinging at Lawler or not. The King falls on him. Lawler doing the counting himself. And the referee says, ring the bell. The winner, Jerry Lawler. The winner, Jerry Lawler. Bockwinkel still on the canvas. And the dream comes true. Lawler, the winner. He finally got Bockwinkel in one of the most furious attacks we've ever seen on the champion. Lawler beats him. What is it? Hey, what happened? Hey, man, you disqualified him. The referee, Lawler, kicks Bockwinkel in the face and grabs the belt. A little better than an hour right now since the end of a World Heavyweight Championship match. And I think a lot of the fans have seen all of the excitement that takes place in a great championship match. They wonder, how long does it really take to unwind after the pounding and the beating, the excitement, and all the things that come out? We're sitting here in the dressing room with Nick Bockwinkel. He is one of the very few people still in the Mid-South Coliseum. It has been over an hour since the bout in which you defended the title against Jerry the King Lawler, Nick.
A lot of people ask, they want to know, how long does it take you to unwind? And in actuality, the pain of the pounding that I had to take still hasn't set in. Your adrenaline's still running too high. About 3 hours usually. About the time you're getting ready to fall asleep. And then, of course, the real hell comes when you wake up the next morning. A lot of people wonder what goes on right after a championship match. And I'm going to tell you, because as it has gone on many times in the past, it's exactly what has happened tonight. In this past hour, I have been informed, if you want to use the expression, by my friends, associates, or stooges, that the phone of Stanley Blackburn, who is a man who I seem to have a terrible time to reach when I try to reach him, with problems I have, with things that need decisions made by the championship committee, but it has already filtered back to me that because of the outcome of tonight's match, because I accidentally struck a referee, that, needless to say, your promoter, and, of course, Stanley Blackburn, wanting to treat all of you nice humanoids properly, is talking about a rematch. Let's not kid each other. It's coming down the wire. They're pushing for it. There are those Lawler backers on the championship committee who want to see him the world's heavyweight champion. And I know this. Now, I'm going to propose something because I know the way the politics of my sport and my business works. I could put it off. I could put it off with all sorts of cute little things, not answering my phone, leaving the one city, going to the next, just avoiding people. It would take weeks before paperwork could be signed, and we could play all sorts of technical games. You know how the bureaucracy is. But it's going to come down. Now, somebody asked, how do you feel? Well, the pain in my jaw, the pain in my head is really bad. I can feel it. I'm still functioning, but tomorrow morning I'll probably be having soup for the next 2 or 3 days because I doubt if I'm going to be able to chew anything. And for one simple, pathetic reason. This great man, Jerry Lawler, who they think has the ability and the talent to be a world's heavyweight champion wrestler, I think everybody's missing the point. The name on the marquee is wrestling. On the World's Heavyweight Championship belt, it says wrestling. Now, in the first 15 minutes of this match that took place tonight, Lawler never saw daylight because I dominated it with wrestling. I used a forearm. I took, and a little later, used some more forearms. But no, not Mr. Lawler. All Mr. Lawler knows how to do good, and I'm going to tell you this right now. And you know it, and I'm sure you'll agree. Man throws a hell of a punch. Whoa. When I start sucking soup through a straw for the next 3 days, that'll be my testament to it. Only because I'm still hot and the adrenaline's still flowing through my bones and my body is the jaw working. I doubt if it'll work tomorrow morning, because that's when the cold and the agony and the pain will really set in. Now, Lawler, if you couldn't punch, what would you do? I really want to know. And I'll tell you what, I've just perked the curiosity of all your cretinous humanoids sitting out there. They would want to know, what would you do? Now, I'm going to make it easy for Stanley Blackburn and your promoter. I'm going to take and bring this match, I'm going to move it up quick. If Monday night is open, it is for me, and you can put it together in the Coliseum, I want $500 a punch. Did you catch that?
Lawler to pay you and you to pay Lawler?
No. I'm making it easy by giving him a chance at the heavyweight championship again, because I know they're going to try and shove it down my throat eventually anyway. So to entice it, to maybe bring it back a little quicker, make it happen a little quicker, rather than 3 or 4 or 5 months down the line, if you are willing to agree to $500 a punch, because you see, Lawler, you probably got a very nice streak in your body, and you don't want to give up $500 a punch, not the way you throw them. And the point really comes down to this. You don't want to give up that much money, and if you can't throw a punch, you know what you can't do? You can't beat me, because you cannot wrestle, and I can. That's why I'm the world's heavyweight champion, and that's why you're a contender. So there it is. The option is yours, Lawler. Put it in your pipe, smoke it. And before this show is over with today, let's see what your answer is.
Well, it didn't take the king long. Live last week, you know Lawler had him beat, and it was only that fluky disqualification where Bockwinkel hit the referee that they got that thing changed. But this situation is going to be that Jerry Lawler is going to have to pay up $500 for every punch that he throws. The match is so important that Stanley Blackburn, the president of the AWA, will be right down there with us at ringside to witness this World Championship match. Jerry, it is mixed emotions for me. I know you beat him. I had no question in my mind. All of us knew you had him beat. He deliberately got the doggone thing thrown out. And yet, it's a situation where you are agreeing to pay $500 for every punch you throw. And man, let's face it, you do have a dynamite right, and it has been instrumental not only in breaking bones, but in winning a lot of matches. What about this match?
Well, you have said you've named almost every stipulation on this match. Now, first of all, let me get something straight. It's true, $500 for every punch that I throw is a lot of money. I mean, it can add up to a lot of money. I would imagine that if I had to pay $500 for every punch I threw in the last match, I'd be completely broke right now. But there are a few other interesting stipulations that go along with this. The reason, mainly the reason that I agreed to this was, as Nick Bockwinkel said, it was the only way to get a return title match with him this soon. I would have, just like he said, had to wait weeks, certainly, and possibly months, and you know, who knows how long. But the way I've got it figured is that he likes to talk about what a great wrestler he is, and it's true, he is a great wrestler. And he likes to talk about the fact that I don't know how to wrestle, and all I can do is punch. Well, I'm not gonna deny the fact that I'm a pretty good puncher. I think so too. I'll agree with Mr. Bockwinkel on that. And I put a little calculator to it, Lance, and I figure that if I threw 20 punches, $500 a punch, that's $10,000.
Oh, yes.
Now, $10,000, believe me, is an awful lot of money.
Yep.
But at the same time, Lance, it's not a lot of money if you're talking about when you spend that $10,000, you get the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, what I'm saying is, I figure that I'm going to be able to have Nick Bockwinkel in the shape where I can pin him with 20 or less punches. That's what I'm shooting for. And the reason I'm shooting for this, and the reason I'm confident in this, is because of another little stipulation that you haven't let the fans know about yet, that they don't realize. There's always bargaining that goes on back and forth when you negotiate these title matches. Now, Nick Bockwinkel, it's true. I went to Stanley Blackburn. I called him immediately. I told him what happened. I said, I want another shot at the title. Well, then Blackburn had to talk to Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel said the only way I'm going to give him a shot is if he agrees to pay $500 a punch. Well, when Blackburn came back to me with this, I said, I'll agree to pay $500 a punch if I can have a knockout-proof referee in there, somebody that I don't have to worry about if Nick Bockwinkel knocks him down. I still want him there to count those shoulders out. So we have got, as you saw on the card there, 2 referees.
Yes.
Now, one of them is either going to be Jerry Calhoun, Paul Morton, or one of those guys. That's okay. That doesn't matter. But the other one, and this is very interesting, and this is why I feel so good, and this is why I'll risk $500 a punch, because the other referee is going to be Austin Idol.
The heartthrob is going to be one of them.
Now, I know that Nick Bockwinkel is not going to shove Austin Idol around, and I know he's not going to punch Austin Idol and knock him down. If he does, Austin Idol is still going to be right there to count Bockwinkel's shoulders out. Now, I know how important this match is, and I think the AWA knows how important it is, and they know how big it is for the simple fact that Stanley Blackburn, the president of the AWA, is going to be right here in Memphis at ringside.
Yes, sir.
And all I can say is the last time he was at ringside, the AWA World Heavyweight Championship changed hands. Now, he knows what's taking place, and he's going to be there. And Nick Bockwinkel, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to have $500 for every punch thrown. And believe me, it's going to be the best money that I've ever spent in my life, because I'm not walking out of that ring in Memphis unless I have that big diamond-studded World Heavyweight Championship belt in my hands. That's a promise.
Okay, Jerry, good luck to you. By golly, you've thought it through. You know your strategy. And I'll tell you what, I'm convinced after the last meeting that this is the time. We're going to take the...
Get some of the highlights of it right now. Nick Bockwinkel on Lawler with a sleeper hold. Dumps Bockwinkel on top of the referee. Lawler showing just how dead game he is. Look at him with his left hand. 2 more, 3, and Calhoun is hurt. Referee Paul Morton coming up to help him. All 244 of Bockwinkel fell right on the referee. Lawler pounding despite the pain with that right hand. Here comes Jimmy Hart. Paul Morton tackles him as he was coming into the ring. Once again, Bockwinkel with a sleeper. Lawler shakes him off. He shook him off, and now he's got Bockwinkel. Hart fighting with referee Paul Morton. He's suplexing back into the ring. Here's Austin Idol. 1, 2, 3. He got him.
Wait a minute, Mr. Morton. You're the referee. He was on this side of the ring. He was thrown over the top rope. And that stopped everything.
But I got the title back?
I'm going to hold the title
What
up.
do you mean you're going to hold it up? Hold it for what? No way. There's no way for you to.
I'm holding it up. We're going to take it before the committee, and I've got a tape of the whole thing. He threw him over the top rope right there. And
You cannot. He cannot hold up the title. He cannot. I'm supposed to be the champion. I'm the champion.
What he's saying is true. I know what he's saying in there, but...
And it'll show up on the tape. It'll show up on the tape. The committee will look at it with me, but I saw him throw him over the top rope. You no longer have the title. It's being held up. Maybe you've got it, and maybe Mr. Lawler's got it, but it's being held up for the time being.
Yeah, that's exactly what the decision by Stanley Blackburn, who is the president of the AWA, he made the ruling, and of course the committee did in fact take a look at the tape. There he is, the king. He was certainly directly involved, and Jerry had just
knew that was it. You had him. You beat him right there in the middle of the ring.
Well, you know, it really gets disappointing after a while, because it seems like every time I wrestle Nick Bockwinkel, I come out here the following Saturday, and you're saying, and the fans think, and I feel like, that I beat Nick Bockwinkel, but I never have the belt.
Yeah.
And that is what is really discouraging and really disappointing. And, you know, this was just another time, another opportunity, and these opportunities don't come that often to get a world title shot. And it's another one that's gone by the wayside, because I did have the man beat. I did have him pinned, but then to lose, or not to lose, but to lose the belt on a technicality. You know, even though they held it up for the time being, then the word comes down yesterday that the championship committee viewed the film and they decided that he was thrown over the top rope. It certainly wasn't intentional. All I know was he was on my back, had the sleeper hold on. I just tried to get him off the same way I did originally, suplexed him back in the ring and pinned the man. But they say because he went over the top rope that, you know, it was a disqualification at that point. And so, you know, I'm standing here without the world heavyweight title again, is what it boils down to. And after that, I also, of course, asked for an immediate rematch. And now Nick Bockwinkel is apparently doing what he said he would do before. He's stalling. He's told Stanley Blackburn that he's going to take some time off. He needs a rest and all of this sort of garbage.